Like my content and want to see it early? Well, you can. For $1 a week or $4 a month, you will know what videos I'll be doing for the week, and you'll get to see a video of your choice every Thursday. So if this interests you, you can become a member by clicking the join button today and get access to wicked cool sub badges as well. If you can't though, I totally understand, and I just wanted to thank you so much for watching and being an awesome member of our community. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and have a great day as well. Today, we're going to be taking another step forward with my series of ranking the top 10 strongest Pokemon of a certain typing, this time getting to the psychic types. Last time around, we did the dark typing, and I know a few of you were surprised about how that list came together, especially with Umbreon opening it up. So I'm hoping to show you guys that once again, there's no bias here. The psychic typing is one of the hands down most powerful typings ever to grace the franchise, and with so many powerful legendaries having this typing, I once again had a hard time trying to keep legendary Pokemon off this list. I like to keep things balanced, but my goodness, the psychic typing is just too dang good. Anyway, let's get into things. So we're getting started here with a Pokemon that is potentially a big surprise for most of you guys watching right now. However, I do truly believe that the treatment that it has got puts it in the top 10 of psychic types, ahead of some legendaries. The Pokemon I'm talking about is Gen 1 Slowbro. Slowbro has a great typing with water and psychic, and is an absolute tank with 110 base defense and 95 base HP. It's one of the original non-normal type, special defensive walls, and the number of resistances it has is rather impressive too. That being said, it's definitely got a fair share of weaknesses, but the majority of them are definitely traditionally more so special typings, so its great special defense serves as a fantastic counter. I'm sure that for a few of you, this may not be enough to really justify Slowbro appearing on this list at all, though I would like to bring up a few other aspects of it. First off, it's got an absolutely fantastic Mega Evolution that is oftentimes slept on. As a Mega, its physical defense balloons to a completely bananas base 180, and its special attack sees a nice leap to base 130. It has the ability Shell Armor as well, so setting up this Mega with something like Calm Mind can make it super difficult for an opponent to take out if they can't rely on critical hits. The only thing that works against Slowbro is its poor speed, but with its recently released Galarian form, it has the opportunity to outspeed the opponent thanks to the ability Quick Draw, which basically works the same way as a Quick Claw does but as an ability. Slowbro is a really good Pokemon with a ton of options, and was totally worth featuring here at number 10. Here at number 9, we've got the mythical Pokemon, Mew. This one is an interesting case, as when it comes to stats, Mew is the original balanced Pokemon. It's got 100 base across the board, and started a trend that lasted for generations of mythical Pokemon sharing that stat spread. It's obviously going to have solid speed, and since its other stats are all 100, it can really be any sort of defensive Pokemon or attacker you want it to be. That's a big theme here with a lot of Pokemon that are psychic types. They seem to offer a lot of different options and how to use them, though Mew made its way to the number 9 spot ahead of so many Pokemon due to one major fact: its move pool. Mew has access to quite literally every move that is available via normal means. In Generation 8, it can learn any TM or TR, and any of the move tutor moves on the Isle of Armor. There's over 200 moves in its move pool, and that basically turns it into the master of coverage, as it can do whatever is needed. If you're liking an electric, fire, bug, or dragon type move on your team, and are desperate and need to pull everything together, Mew is there for you, and that's incredible. So we just got our first mythical out of the way, so now we can move on to our first legendary of the list, the Guardian of Akala Island, Tapu Lele. The big thing right off the bat that really sets Tapu Lele up above a lot of psychic types is it having the fairy typing as well. When you've got two extremely powerful stab typings like those, you definitely become a major threat in a battle. And the moves that Tapu Lele has, like Moonblast and Psyshock, give it the best defensive moves of its typing. It's got a tremendous 130 special attack and great 115 special defense that provide it with the bulk needed to back up those incredibly strong stab special attacks. Tapu Lele is a great Pokemon for doubles as well, as it has the hidden ability Telepathy that prevents it from taking damage from moves like Earthquake and Discharge that its teammate goes for in the battle. Psychic Surge is a pretty good ability too, which would help Tapu Lele avoid super effective damage from a move like Bullet Punch. Really, between strong stab moves and great stats alongside those good abilities, Tapu Lele is an incredibly strong Pokemon. However, for as good as Tapu Lele is, it is not the best Pokemon to be both Psychic and Fairy. No, that Pokemon would instead be everyone's favorite, Gardevoir. Gardy got the biggest boost from getting the Fairy typing when it was introduced in the 6th gen, taking an already great Psychic type and pushing it way over the edge. Gardevoir has 5 less points in special attack than Tapu Lele, with the same special defense at 115. It has the same great move pool for both its typings, and can absolutely wreck an opponent on its own. However, when it Mega Evolves, it gets even stronger and faster. Mega Gardevoir has 165 base special attack and 135 base special defense, with 100 base speed, turning it into an absolute demon on the special side of things. It has an arguably better ability than either of Tapu Lele's with Pixelate, which will turn all of its normal type moves into Fairy types, and even powers them up, meaning it can turn to something like Hyper Voice to absolutely annihilate the opponent. Gardevoir was absolutely tearing things up as just a pure Psychic type prior to the 6th generation, but once the Fairy typing was added in, it became a wrap. Next up in this ranking, we've got more OG Pokemon power with the original non-legendary Psychic type, Alakazam. Now before we get too deep into things, I will address the elephant in the room of its bulk. The physical defense and HP of Alakazam are both just absolute dumpster fire, and that is something that can be used against it. However, that is not enough for me to count out its ridiculous special attack and speed. Alakazam has higher special attack than both Tapu Lele and Gardevoir with 135 base and 120 base speed, which blows a lot of other special attackers out of the water. Don't forget, this is all before it even Mega Evolves, and my goodness, when it does, things get real nuts. Alakazam still won't take hits well as a Mega, but its special attack bubbles up to 175 and its speed to 150, making it one of the fastest, most hard-hitting Pokemon in the franchise. Its move pool allows it to take advantage of all the great Psychic type moves out there, like Psyshock, Psychic, and Calm Mind, the last of those being something that can help turn Alakazam into a special wall if you find yourself in a lucky situation. Alakazam is not just better than a lot of legendaries, but it's really one of the best wildly accessible Pokemon in general. The Psychic typing wouldn't be the same without it. Well, I can let you guys know one thing as we start the second half of this list. The following Pokemon is the final non-legendary or mythical tube here. So in a way, you guys can look at this as being the strongest Pokemon of the regular ones. Well, this one is actually a pseudo, but I'd say it still counts. I'm of course talking about Metagross, the pseudo-legendary of the 3rd generation. Metagross is absolutely one of the best physical attacking options for Psychic types, and with the exception of a certain Mega Evolution, might just be the best in certain circles. Metagross mirrors the 135 special attack that Alakazam has, but instead has it on the physical side. It's got 130 defense as well, which means it can certainly take a few hits. It's got access to some tremendous moves like Earthquake, Meteor Mesh, Bullet Punch, and Zen Headbutt, and as it Mega Evolves, it will get a boost to 145 physical attack and gain the Tough Claws ability, which only makes its contacting moves even stronger. Mega Metagross is one of the few Megas to be so good they were moved to Ubers, and it's pretty easy to see why. It's got great defenses, pretty good speed, and that great ability, move pool, and attack stat really push things over the edge. It's got a tremendous typing as well, serving as a massive check to Fairy types and offering resistances to many others thanks to the Steel typing. Metagross may as well just be a legend with just how good it is. And I'm sorry Jirachi and Solgaleo, but this is what peak performance looks like. We now move on to more legendaries, starting off here with the Pokemon we had a few weeks back on the Dragon-type rankings, Ultrano Cosmo. It has got some insane stats, the total being 754, which is one of the highest in all Pokemon. Its 167 in both attack and special attack are insane, and it even packs a great speed stat at 127 base. It's got a great ability in Neuroforce, which makes any of its super effective moves 1.25 times stronger. Ultrano Cosmo has access to some insane moves as well, 2 of them being its Psychic-type signature move Photon Geyser and Prismatic Laser. And on top of that, plenty of other great moves by level up and TMs. Though I'd have to say its best move is definitely Light That Burns the Sky, the Z move it gets from the Ultra Necrozma Z crystal. It's going to be stat boosted to 300 base power, it will not miss, and it ignores all abilities that can actually be ignored. It's a fantastic Z move, and really a big part of what makes Ultrano Cosmo so good. It's one of the best Pokemon of both of its typings, and the fact of the matter is it is incredibly intimidating as a Psychic type, and the access it gets to great Psychic and Dragon type moves make one of the best of both of its typings. Let's go ahead and talk about yet another legendary now, the monster on the cover of Pokemon Silver, the diving Pokemon Lugia. Lugia is without a doubt the most defensive Pokemon we've talked about thus far. It's got 154 base special defense and 130 base physical defense, alongside a nice 110 speed stat and 106 base HP, making it an absolutely insane wall that actually has speed to back up its great defenses. For a long time, Lugia has just boasted these crazy defensive stats, and now it even gets access to an ability like Multiscale that only makes the hits it takes weaker. Imagine this if you will, 252 EVs in HP and defense with the Bold Nature, and Calm Mind being run on this Pokemon with Roost. Lugia will have 416 HP, 394 defense, 324 special attack, and 516 special defense. And thanks to Roost, it should easily be able to get back up to full HP, thus being able to get the help from Multiscale multiple times in a battle. We've talked about the great stats, and now I think it's fair to shine a light on some of the great moves Lugia gets. I already talked about Roost, which is going to go really well with the Multiscale ability, and about Calm Mind as well. Some of the other great special moves it has are Aeroblast, Hurricane, Psychic, and Extrasensory, giving it a real presence on the offensive side as well. Though, even with those great moves, you can probably run a Toxic style Lugia as well, and be just as successful. Lugia is just so stupid thick defensively that I had to give it the props it deserves by putting it this high in the rankings. We now reach the penultimate spot of these rankings, and in this position we've got 4 different Pokemon. Well, sort of. If you're a little lost, then don't worry, because I'll explain. The Pokemon taking this spot in the rankings is Hoenn's Deoxys, and it's got 4 different forms that in a way almost work as different Pokemon. It has a form dedicated to being speedy, a form that works best as a massive defensive wall, and finally a form that just oozes power with a nice hint of speed as well. Though before you can get any of those other forms, you've of course got to start with the original form, and that carries 150 in both attacks and 150 in speed as well. It's pretty well balanced as a glass cannon, and the attack form is the same way. The speed form has nothing for it except for its 180 speed, and the defense form has some of the highest base defenses of all legendaries with 160 in both. The big thing that convinced me to put Deoxys this high was all the options you have with it, which can allow it to cover any position you need to. If you're desperate for a strong attacker that takes advantage of crazy moves like Psycho Boost, you can use the attack form. And if you need to use it as a setup machine, you can use the speed form. If you feel like you need a wall on your team, the well-designed defense form will easily be there for you. Though if what you're looking for is a strong glass cannon, look no further than the regular form. The possibilities are almost endless of Deoxys, and it's a really great representation of its typing. But unfortunately for it, there is but one Pokemon that not only is the best of this typing, but gives Mega Rayquaza a run for being the best Pokemon period. You guys definitely knew it from the beginning, but we've still got to talk about it. The best Psychic type Pokemon is the original big boss, Mewtwo. This thing has got 154 special attack and 130 speed. But honestly, who really cares? You guys know Mewtwo is really tremendously good, but Lugia and defense form Deoxys could easily tank its hits. So what would you do then? Well, you'd Mega Evolve it into either its X or Y variant. After you do that, you're left with the 2 single strongest Pokemon in the entirety of the franchise. The 190 base attack Mewtwo X and 194 base special attack Mewtwo Y. I could honestly end this right here, and I think I've given all the justification I need, but I won't do you guys like that. Mewtwo has access to dozens of coverage moves beyond its great Psychic type moves. We're talking at least one move of every single typing except for Bug and Fairy, and that's honestly no small feat. Its stats aren't just crazy in attack either. Both Megas have high speed stats, and in the case of Mewtwo X, it's got good defenses too. You guys are seeing these fantastic stats on screen right now too, and you can probably make it out for yourself just how tremendous it is. I'm not even sure what more I can say at this point that can really do Mewtwo justice. It's probably the best Pokemon in the entire franchise, even with the advantages Mega Rayquaza has. What more really needs to be said? Well, I guess what needs to be said at this point is the outro. That's going to do it for our top 10 ranking of the strongest Psychic type Pokemon. I've spoken a lot about how good the Psychic typing is in past videos, and I feel this top 10 really proves it, as we just went through better and better Pokemon as things went on. I need to know what you guys think though. So in the comments below, let me know if you agree with my rankings, and if not, share yours. Also let me know what the next typing is that you'd like to see me cover. I'm already planning to cover Ghost and Fairy in August, so try to pick different things. If you enjoyed the video, why not leave a like and subscribe to my channel with notifications on, that way you never miss an upload. If you want to support me further, consider following my Twitch where I stream all sorts of games from Pokemon to Fire Emblem to Zelda and much more. I also have an anime channel called MysticSage where I do anime reviews, rankings, and countdowns. So if you're interested in that kind of content, go ahead and check that out as well. If you want to support me even further and gain cool perks, check out my Patreon. These lovely people have all given me their support over there and I couldn't be more grateful to them. I think I'm gonna wrap this up though. I'm Mystic Umbreon, and I will see you in the future for more awesome Pokemon content.